So today in the booth we've got a very large project, a fire truck. Since I've been at this shop, we've had several come through. It's kind of a normal thing actually. I've done one of these before at a previous shop that I worked at for a couple years. So as far as painting one goes, this is only the second one I've done. Won't lie, I was a little nervous. It's a big project to be given to do, and I wanted to make sure everything turned out as proper as possible. So let's see, starting things off, once it was done with the body guys, they stuck it outside the booth. I spent maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour at the most, blowing it all off, making sure all the sanding dust and all that stuff was blown off as good as I could get it. We brought it in the booth, and myself, and actually the same body guy that did the body work, they stuck him on it with me to help me get it masked up. We spent quite a few hours playing with tape and paper and plastic. I won't lie, it kind of wore me out mentally, just kind of when you spend so many hours, I love masking and stuff. It's actually one of my favorite things to do, aside from painting, of course. But it's like, man, we both had headaches by the end of the day. We spent about, I'm gonna say, I think we spent about 9 hours together, getting this thing all masked up, ready to go. And it was kind of one of those projects where you feel like it feels like no matter how fast you go, it almost feels like you're moving at snail speed. But we kept a pretty solid pace the whole time, honestly. It is what it is, you mentally wear out before you physically do. It's just like, oh man, is it done yet? But we got it done. I believe we started this at 10 o'clock in the morning. We started masking on a Wednesday, and the following day I believe we were done around 11 o'clock, I think, is when he got off the project, and I started basing it after lunch on Thursday. So yeah, that was good times there with paper and tape. I masked this thing in a way so I could do both the red and the white at the same time, and then go right into clear coat rather than like masking up, doing the white first, unmasking some stuff, masking up the red, and and my boss was actually pretty happy. He thought it was a pretty cool idea that we did it this way. So everything was good there. If you're relatively new to painting, basically all I'm doing in this video is going around to where all the bodywork had been done and sealing over the body guy's primer, and I'll put the materials up in the upper left hand corner. In fact, I'll probably do that at the beginning of the video, so if you guys don't catch it, just click back to there and you can see what I used. But I'm only gonna put the materials I used in this video, because I'm gonna make a 3-part series out of this, I think, because I have so much footage to go through. So yeah, there's not really too much to say in this one. After it's all masked up, I go around, I made a final inspection, making sure everything was good, all my paper and tape and plastic was all set, and I used DAS PPG. It's a PPG sealer, and I wasn't thinking things through quite all the way. I think because this is such a large project, I think it kind of got in my head a little bit. But I should have tinted my primer or my sealer for this job, especially this job, I think. I mean, the red cover's fine, but basically what I should have done was just used gray, or maybe tinted the gray sealer a little bit white on top of the white base coat where that's going. And then I should have either used just straight gray and or tinted my primer red or sealer red for all the spots on the red areas. What I actually did was I mixed 2 different sealers together. I went 2 parts white sealer to 1 part gray. And the reason I did that is because I kept thinking about the white. If you've ever sprayed white base coat, a lot of it doesn't cover very well, especially over gray. You got to do at least 3 coats to get it to cover gray sealer. And so when I mixed it up, I mixed up enough to do the whole thing. And then when I went to base the red, I'm like, oh man, I should have tinted my primer red, you know, because the sealer, it looks gray in the video, but it's actually more white than it is gray. And that white sealer made the red base coat it made it like pop, stand out more, which that happens when you do stuff like that. So if you put like white under colors, it'll make it stand out more. So I'm like, oh crap, you know. So I did my usual 3 coats of base coat, which I'll get into in the next video. But it all worked out. It turned out great. But that's just kind of 2020 hindsight type of thing, something to remember for the next big project. And I really need to get into the habit of tinting sealer, because it does make a big difference. If you tint your sealer to something close to whatever color you're going to be spraying, you will use less base coat. And it's something that I did when I started painting. I wasn't taught that. And later on when I came to this shop, they do that here. And so it's kind of hard for me to keep remembering to do that. But regardless, it turned out good, and that's all that matters, is the finished product. So basically the idea is the idea going into this was to blend all the spots that have had body work done to them. Was going to be a blend. And it turned out that those plans changed. But I think it was a good decision. I'll talk about that more in the following video where I do the base coat. I don't want to get too off track, seeing as this is just the sealer. So at least as far as the sealer goes, everything held up. You know, there's a lot of tape and paper on this thing, and it all held up fine. No issues as far as putting the sealer on goes. So yeah, pretty straightforward, really. Just like any other job that's had body work done to it. Just want to make sure you get your primer spots sealed over and get that all ready for base coat. So I think I'm going to cut out as far as telling you guys how this went, because it's pretty straightforward. It went well, so no problems yet. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, this will be a 3-part series. I didn't really want to do. I thought about doing 2-part, but even then the videos would be pretty long, and I know at least when I'm going through YouTube videos, I don't usually sit through anything longer than 10 or 12 minutes. So hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
I can see through your disguise. you can't stop it now.